Good morning, everybody. We're so excited to be here today. We are doing our first live next level coaching call for our whole network of friends and family to watch. We have a private coaching group that you are welcome to join, but we wanted to open this up to everybody that we know to give back to our community. And today's topic is circle prospecting. And we are going to start with James. If you will take it away, James, and let's start talking about what people can do with circle prospecting.
Good morning, everyone. I'm James Harner. I wanted to talk to everybody about circle prospecting as a topic. It's something that in the coaches that I've had in my career, they've kind of always held back and never really broached us. Always kind of called this the thing of works better than anything else, and no one ever wanted to teach it to me unless I wanted to spend $10,000, $20,000. And the reality is I had somebody teach it to me out of the spirit of giving, and I'm going to teach it to you folks out of that same spirit of giving, because I don't feel as though it's something that should be held back. And it's something that in my business has brought me greater dividends than anything else. And I built my business around listing homes. And in the listing homes avenue of building businesses, you end up with competing with other agents in a lot of sources. And the circle prospecting area of business, it's unlimited. I mean, honestly, there is no limit to the number of people you can talk to. And that's the really powerful thing about it. The second most powerful thing about it is that the greatest source of listings are property owners, right? And when you're actually talking to property owners every time, and they're the greatest source of business that you can find, and no one else is talking to them because they're not a FSBO, they're not an expired listing or a canceled listing, they're not a Zillow lead. There's a lot of things you can do. And once I wrapped my head, the fellow that taught me this, I had to wrap my head and change my mindset. And I had to wrap my head around the concept that this is about establishing a relationship. This is not about selling anything to anyone. It's not about a commission. It's about how in the world can I help you or help anyone that you know. And when you wrap your head around that and you treat it like a friend and you want to help them, boy, does it open up a whole level in the way that your mind operates and how you can build a list of people that are interested in hearing from you because you didn't try and sell them anything and you're just wondering how in the world you might be able to help them. So I hope that gives you a new perspective on how you look at prospecting, because it really is about establishing relationships. And the more relationships you can establish with the more property owners that exist in your market, the bigger market share you'll have, because that's really what it's about. It's about who is the influencer. It's not the guy that sells the most deals, but the guy that actually knows the most people or gal. So what does the circle prospecting script look like? You have to say to yourself, wow, what do you say to somebody that's a total stranger that you might not even be interested in buying and selling real estate, right? I mean, that's the obvious question I had too. It's like the $10,000 question.
So let's talk about some of the different avenues that we would use circles prospecting in, and then we can talk about the script we use for each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first, James or Shannon?
Sure. So for me, circle prospecting should be done in areas that I want to list houses, the price points that I'm interested in listing homes at, and the neighborhoods where I see there is turnover and where I want to be considered the guy that people want to talk to. So that's where you should start. Each and every one of you, I know you've got in your mind, you're saying, it's this subdivision over here. Or, oh, it's this town. That's where I want to be known at. Well, that's what you need to do. And listen, at the end of the day, it's all about establishing that relationship. And there's voice to voice is everything. It's everything. You don't need a bright, shiny object that's a Facebook lead magnet. You don't need the next greatest thing. All you need is your voice. It's the key to everything. That's the whole reason we haven't been replaced as real estate agents by Google and Silicon Valley, because the voice-to-voice conversations is what creates trust and builds and establishes a relationship.
Well, one of the ways that I've used circle prospecting is when I started in my business, I was doing expireds and open houses. And I would use circle prospecting to go, when I was doing an open house, I would actually, there's a source called Cole Realty Resource.
Mhm.
And it's a system that you can use to download all the addresses around the neighborhood. So when you log in there and put in the address that you are doing the open house for, you can draw a map of how many miles out you want to go. And I was able to pull all of the households in that neighborhood, and it gives you literally everybody's name, address, phone number if they have it, email if they have it. And then you can create campaigns, circle prospecting campaigns from that farm neighborhood or where you're doing the open house, either one. And then you can use something called Sly Broadcast and upload the CSV file to Sly Broadcast and create a voiceover like what James is talking about. If you don't want to call one by one, you can actually load a message saying, "Hi, this is Sheila Fageron. Your neighbor wanted me to let you know that you're invited to a neighbor-only open house event that we're hosting at their house Friday night. We are going to be doing an open house to the public on Saturday, but they wanted to give you a chance to come and say goodbye and also bring any friends or family that might want to move to the neighborhood to the open house, to the neighbor-only open house." And then you can Sly Broadcast to that all the people at the same time. So that's a great way to do circle prospecting, just in a blast that way for an open house, especially a neighbor open house. You can use it to Sly Broadcast to invitation only, or you can use it to actually call one by one, like what James was talking about, and build relationships. You can use that list to go door knocking, because you literally would have a list of everybody in the neighborhood. You can create a survey that you could go door to door and create a survey and say, "Hey, we want to ask you, we have 5 questions, Mr. So-and-so, you got their name. We're doing a survey for the neighborhood, and here are 5 things that we're trying to find out about." And then use that to build a Facebook group for the neighborhood, or to create some kind of something for the neighborhood with the data. So those are some ways that I've done it. What about you, Shannon?
Well, a lot of people, they say, gosh, they don't want to go door knocking, right? I hear this all the time. People say, "I do not like to door knock." And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't like to door knock either. Just not one of my things. I don't like it when somebody comes and knocks on my door. And I don't like to knock on their door. What's that, James?
Yeah, my 3-pound toy Chihuahua just attacked somebody yesterday that knocked on our door and wanted us to change electric service.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same concept. So if we don't know who's at the door, we don't go to the door anymore, right? I mean, that's just, we live in that kind of a world. But what I've found is, instead of door knocking myself, I'll just get a bunch of flyers made up, and I'll get a college kid or a high school kid, right, who just got their driver's license, or who's looking for an extra 20 or 30 bucks, to go out to the movies on the weekends or something like that. And I'll pay them to go around and put the flyer in the door, right? Do not do this. Do not do this. I learned the hard way a long time ago, and I got really fined for it, and it was really bad. I had people opening the mailbox and putting the flyer inside the mailbox.
I remember that, because you and I had done this 6 years ago when I had told you what I was doing, going door to door, and you go, "Oh no, we've got these mailboxes out in front."
Don't do that. Now where I live, in the subdivision where I live, we've actually got these little round things underneath the mailbox that anybody can stick something in, right? So those are perfectly legal. You can do that. But under any circumstance, let them open the mailbox and put it in.
Here's my workaround to what you just mentioned: is they make like Z-Line makes a bag that can go over a doorknob. It's a clear plastic bag, and they're super cheap. They're and you can put a flyer inside one of those and hang it on the flag on the mailbox on the outside.
Oh, okay. Z-Line, Z-Line does that. Okay.
Yeah, and they're cheap. You get 10,000 of them for like $60.
Yeah, And here's the thing: a lot of people say, "Gosh, well, what about printing costs and things like that?" Guys, tap into your affiliates. You know what I mean? You've got mortgage lenders. You've got in certain states, you've got title reps, right?
Color copiers. Just ask them to run you 1,000 of them.
Absolutely, they'll do it because hey, if you just put their name on there,
yep.
That's
marketing
that's
expense.
marketing for them.
Yep. Absolutely, great idea.
Usually they have to, at the bottom of your flyer, they even have preset templates that have their picture, and they can put your picture in both sets of data so that it advertises them as a supporting the open house or supporting whatever event you're doing.
Yep. I just wanted to say with the phone service that I use, the Cole Realty Resource is one of the pieces of data that's available via subscription to Mojo Dialer. So, that's how I do my circle prospecting. I have the triple line dialer, and I get the Cole Realty data, and I just put in, literally just put in an address and draw a circle, and it just starts. I mean, it's unlimited the number of people you can call.
Right.
You won't run out. You'll run out of time, not prospects.
Yeah, and the Cole Realty was the same one I was talking about before, where they actually have upgraded their service where they're including a lot more numbers now than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have some that you can get email addresses on now. So you could even, in today's market, the thing that I would be doing versus what I used to do is even creating through BombBomb. If you guys use BombBomb service, create a video, and you can text videos to people. So you could even create a video announcing the neighborhood open house or announcing whatever listing you have coming up, and then literally text that video to all those people from that list.
Mm-hmm. The thing I do, and what I want to share and put this in the next level coaching, is the actual script that I use and the mindset that I go about with this, because my goal is not on these calls to sell someone a piece of real estate. I mean, it'd be really nice to get a referral, or somebody's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm looking for a real estate agent, but that's a needle in a haystack. And if you get one of those, consider it a good day on the phones. My goal is to get an email address and find out if they have an agent that they're already working with.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, to get their email address, and I put them on my list, and I send weekly emails out. Again, that's like piece number 2. They really put this together for me. It's about this relationship. And when you're in front of somebody weekly for the rest of their life until they unsubscribe, hopefully they never will. And, you're providing real value content each week to people in an email. My list right now is over 8,000 people. And that's all from mostly circle prospecting. Mm-hmm. Over the years. There's a lot of value in sending something weekly. And, I've had a couple different coaches over the years tell me how important it was to build a database, how important it was to send something on a regular basis to that database. But until this guy taught me circle prospecting and taught me to do it weekly, to send that email out weekly, because it shows you're hardworking. It shows you're out there and you're looking to establish relationships and looking to help people when you're sending them something weekly and you're calling them when no one else is calling them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like you just said, James, the key is in the follow-up. I mean, it's really about staying in touch with people, providing something of value to them. And I know that you're not sending them junk, you're sending them items of value. Yep. So I have email campaigns I have postcard campaigns that go through email. I have video campaigns that go through email. And then I have letter campaigns or just verbiage campaigns that go through email. And so you want to make sure you're doing various types of communication to your database with these groups that you're sending out and staying in touch with. And it not only provides value to them, you also become the resource for them. You become the authority to them. You become the expert in the area. And it's no different than anything else. You go to your doctor because you trust him and you believe that he knows what he's talking about, and he's going to be the one that's going to be able to diagnose you correctly. Well, it's no different with this, that you become the expert in the field to them, and you become their actual source that they go to for real estate.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right.
That resource. You become that resource that's looking to help. It's not looking to sell. You're just there, and you're constantly there. It's about consistency. It's not about doing something once and forgetting about it. It's doing it weekly. That email weekly is super. Once I got through my head that I had time to do this weekly, it shouldn't be monthly. It should be weekly, and it should be canned content. It should be something that's real, that's mine, that's local. Once I got my head around that, it changed my mindset.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing about it is guys, here's the thing: we're real estate professionals. We are not chefs. Okay, we are not.
Definitely not chef.
you might be right. You might be, but what I'm trying to say is recipe cards
Right.
and crap like that. I mean, guys, that stuff is, you're not providing, in my opinion, you're not providing real value.
Yes, sir. You're correct. What we do.
What's that?
It's nothing to do with what we do for a living.
Exactly.
And it's canned content, and it appears to be canned.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing unique and nothing of value.
Exactly.
So Shannon, what about you? Because you are our resident tech expert. So why don't you tell folks some different things that they can use? Because I know you're always my go-to guy that I call when I have a tech question, or I need an app, or I need some way of executing something. You're always the person I call.
All of us do, right?
Exactly.
There is my latest one of my latest situations, of course, AI, but we'll get into AI later. That's a whole topic of its own, and it's James is doing it. It's amazing. Artificial intelligence, what that can do. But there is an app. I don't believe it's available for Android at this point. Okay, I believe it's only on iPhone. It's about $5 per month. It's called Reach, REACH. And what I love about it is if I want to reach out to, 50 clients at a time and send a message that says, hey, was just thinking about you. We should go grab coffee, whatever. I can literally type this into this program one time, and I can give nicknames. So you have their name if you want to choose their name, and then you've got a little button there where you can choose a nickname, right? And so my nickname would be, for instance, if I'm talking to you, Sheila, it would be Lady. If I'm talking to you, James, it would be Bro, something like that, right? And so like I would be talking to them, very conversational. And I can actually type out the message one time and click the group that I want to send it to, which is and you guys will know this about me whenever it comes into my coaching and all this different stuff. I'm really big about categorizing my clients, okay? My ambassadors, my people that are, go get them. They're going to tell all about me. They're going to share, hey, you need a realtor, you got to call Shannon. Those type people, those are A+ people. The people that are, have referred me a couple of times, they're A people. And if they haven't referred me, but they probably would, they're B people, so on and so forth. So I group these people into these different categories. And it takes some time because you have to go into your phone and group these people into this app, right? But once you get it done, I can literally send one text message out, and I hope this isn't giving everything away. I can send one text message out that goes out to every single one of my clients that I want to reach for that particular thing. So if I said, hey, I want to go grab coffee, I can literally send it to 25 people saying I want to go grab coffee, and then just sit back and wait for the responses. So that's one thing that you can do if you get these numbers from Cole and all this different stuff. That's a great way to reach out via text in a mass way without, and here's the thing, when it pops up, you have to hit the button each time. Okay. You have to go, because it'll give you the name, and it'll be the person, and you have to hit send and then send and then send, right? Because the last thing you want to do, and I don't know about you guys, but I hate this. I hate it, is group text. Okay. Where there's 15 people on this group, and everybody's phone numbers is on there, and everybody, and then you got to opt out and all this different stuff. This is a way that you can reach out to people one by one, but in a group manner. And that's, you could literally create a circle prospect group, right? You could literally say, okay, this is, these are the 100 homes around this area. If you had that cold data resource, right? And you literally just click the button, each time, boom, 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 once you've got them set up. So Reach to me is probably one of the better options. I think the Android version of it is not as good. There is an Android version of it. It's called Hit Up, EM Up. So Hit Up. I think that's available for both Android and iPhone, but Reach by far is, in my opinion, the best one.
So Shannon, you just recently told us about this, and I've gotten mine, and I've started putting my people in to set this up. But with your point about circle prospecting, is there a way with Reach to upload a CSV file all at once, or do you have to do it one person at a time?
Not at this time. You have to do it one person at a time. So that's where it's going to get tedious, and that's where it's going to get time consuming. But you know what? I took an entire day. I went through my database and I said, okay, here's my A pluses, my A's, my B's, and my C's. And I uploaded now most of them were already in my phone because I have my phone synced to my database, right? So most of them were already in there. I just had to find them and assign them into that particular group. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if somebody, and just again, we're trying to figure out with this circle prospecting how to help people. So let's say I'm farming a neighborhood and I have 100 people from Cole Realty Resources that I've downloaded that I want to reach out for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to load them into Reach. I could create a category in Reach. I haven't gotten far enough in Reach I've just been loading people.
Yeah,
so
you create a group. Create a group.
Like I could create a Stonebriar neighborhood group.
Yes.
And then all those people go into that group. And then anytime I want to do a farming piece or a farming text to that neighborhood, I can just hit that.
Absolutely. It does take some time to get it set up on the front end, but once it's set up and you're in, and I know a lot of real estate agents. I mean, I talk to a lot of real estate agents with the ones I'm coaching right now. And you would not believe how many real estate agents do not want to call. They want to text, right? And so that's where I've searched and found this particular, this item because, I was doing some research the other day. I don't know if you know this or not, but less than 30% of people actually answer their phone now.
Exactly.
Less than 30% of people actually answer their phone now. Okay. Less than 67% of emails are opened. Okay. But 98.9%
right.
of text messages are read.
Yep. So besides Reach, so let's say we text them through Reach. That's one avenue. And then let's say they use BombBomb, but I'm thinking too from another. I was talking a slide broadcast. Let's say we do slide broadcast. So that gives us a text. That gives us a slide broadcast message. And then BombBomb, we could do a video. And what about MailChimp? I've used MailChimp before to send things. I've never tested MailChimp with like a video text. Do you know if it can video text as well? Because BombBomb has limitations on some things. So I don't know if there's a better video text system. I'm just thinking to really blanket every avenue of potentially reaching out to them by text or voice or message. Or what other apps have you guys used that we could tell everybody about that potentially they could use as well?
I defer to James on this one.
I've been using MailChimp for 10 years, so I do use it. I can't tell you that I know what its capabilities are with phone numbers. I do use it. That's where I keep my list. That's the weekly emails that go out from MailChimp. It does have a lot of capabilities. I use it. I use it in my Business Weekly to send out a weekly email, and in that email, when I want to do a video, the video will go on my blog. I put the blog post in the email. So, that's how I would send video out through it. But it's going to an email address. I'm not doing anything with people's phone numbers through MailChimp. So if it does it, I'm not aware of it. I know it's a powerful program. I know a lot of people use it, and in a lot of different ways that are well beyond my scope of technical abilities. That would be a question to defer to somebody that's a MailChimp expert. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only other thing I don't know with Reach, Shannon, if you know how when you record, you can record a video of yourself by just turning your camera around, and then you can record yourself in a video.
Right.
Can that video from your phone be texted through Reach? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of. At this point, it appears to only have a place to put an image, but you can put an image. I don't believe that you can put a video at this point. I think that's something that they're working on. I remember getting an email saying that they were going to try to incorporate video into it, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Okay.
And right now, if you get in on it, I'm sure if they incorporate video, it's going to go up. The price is going to go up. But right now, if you get in on it, you can probably get grandfathered in. I think it's $4 a month, guys. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's not much, and it's a good system. I was just thinking other avenues potentially for people to be able to circle prospect. And
well, I know BombBomb has an app that you can use to send out, but you have to send them out one by one by one.
That's what I do on my phone, and I can actually I can text the BombBomb video from my phone, but it is one at a time. I wasn't sure if there was any app where you could pre-record a video and then slide broadcast it out to everybody in a text.
You can do that in our AI system, in our Skylar 360 system that we'll probably have a coaching call on pretty soon.
Right.
James and I are kind of beta testing that. And it seems to be pretty unique. James, I didn't know if you knew that or not, but we can. That's something that Ron shared with me the other day, that we can put video in that.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful what we can do with it. And we're really scratching the surface with what that program can do.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
I'm only scratching the surface of it.
Well, that might be our next call. That might be a good next call, is doing a training on that and introducing that to everybody.
It's a unique system. That's to say the least. It's a very unique system. It's unlike anything
I've ever seen.
Anything I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Sean was asking $4 for what? We were talking, Sean, about the Reach app that Shannon was talking about. So it's $4 for that. And then Scott mentioned something about Slick Text. I've never used Slick Text, but we would be happy to learn about it and share it with everybody on here too, in a future coaching call.
Absolutely.
So what we're really saying here is, from the circle prospecting perspective, attacking it from several different angles, both the phone, the text, and video, to get your message out to people, how you can help them, and that you want to establish a relationship as their go-to expert in real estate. That's what it boils down to. Just using technology to your best to reach them in different medias. Video, text, and the phone. They all work.
Yes, they all work, because there are some people that literally don't text, even though, based on what Shannon was saying before, statistically, there are a lot of people that aren't reading emails now or answering their phone. You still have millions of people that are. So we should be communicating in every way to every single person to make sure that we are using their communication source of choice, because everybody has a different way that they prefer to communicate. And really, if we're doing video, text, email, and voice, we're covering every single avenue that anybody could potentially use to make sure that they're hearing the message.
And let's face it, folks, statistics don't mean a lot when you're talking about, you need to reach 100 people. If you get 100 deals, how powerful is that in your life to change your economic perspective? You don't need to reach 20,000 people and have them say yes. You just need 100 new clients. And what would that do to your life? How would that change your life to have 100 sales this year?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys so much. We are wrapping it up here today. Any last thoughts from either of you?
Be the last man standing. Right? No, I mean, seriously, be the last man standing. I mean, that's one of the things that my coach taught me, that was very, very powerful, was, be the last one that's still in contact with these people. And they will, they'll choose you because you were the last one that was tenacious enough to stick around.
The market is unlimited, folks. Give value to people. And when you give value up front and you show people you want to help and establish a relationship, it will come back to you.
Yeah. And for me, I always come from the avenue of having the heart of a teacher. One of the main things my clients say about me is that I listen and give more than anyone that they've met. And I really try to have the heart of just making sure I'm giving and informing and making sure I'm taking care of them. And if you do these three things, everybody, you will have a successful business. We appreciate everyone being here. This is the Next Level Coaching Group. We would love for all of you to join. There's plenty of business for all of us. We want everyone to succeed. And we look forward to talking with everyone next week.
Yeah, and if you guys want to join, just message us, any of us on Facebook, and we will add you to the group. There is some proprietary information, I guess you could say, in that group that we don't have here, like scripts and dialogues and things of that nature. So if you guys want to join, by all means, just reach out to us.
And like I said, the Circle Prospecting script, we'll put that up later today and give you my message on how you approach that. I think it's super powerful.
Awesome. Well, have a great day, you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.